was ordered to come to the hearing and he didn't come.
Did it indicate what kind of work is being done, if any?
No work being
There's no
done.
work being done.
There's no work
This is
being done. It was put up to
safety.
protect
Just
the
to protect,
sidewalk.
just protect.
Yeah, because things were falling,
Yeah, I
stuff and everything
understand,
that's from the
right,
brownstone was
right.
falling up.
But you need to follow up with the buildings department, because somebody needs to do something. Because your property gets damaged, somebody is responsible for those repairs. He's supposed to have insurance to be able to take care of it, you know? Yeah,
Can the block association do something? I don't know.
we could always write a letter to him,
Inquire. Yeah.
make a letter of inquiry, you know,
And-
to do that.
and
And let
Daphne-
him know the impact that it's having on the block and the neighbors, yeah.
But if Daphne has contact with the owner,
Yes.
maybe through
Who's Daphne? I
I was
can't.
like, who's Daphne?
Daphne Supreme,
166.
166.
The lawyer, short haircut, black girl.
Daphne?
Oh, the one with the
The beautiful
house with the
chandelier.
chandelier, the
Oh, is she still lives there?
She's still there? Did she own, she used to own Voodoo.
Voodoo,
She's
right,
the owner
right,
of Voodoo.
right, she's on a
Voodoo
lounge,
Lounge, yeah.
yeah, right there.
I
right
know
there.
she still lives.
I haven't seen.
I didn't know,
I haven't
Daphne,
seen
I didn't know
her.
We
either.
just passed her. She's
Okay.
outside watering her plant.
You haven't seen her.
Really, I haven't seen her in so long.
Because
She
she was
spends,
away.
she travels a lot.
She does a lot of traveling.
Oh,
She
okay.
was away all winter.
Okay, because I hadn't seen her in a while.
Yeah.
Hadn't seen her in a while,
Anyway, it just seems like that's not going anywhere, and
okay, right.
there's a law, right?
There is a piece of
That you would
legislation.
create.
Well, it's a
That isn't working.
situation, it's not a scaffolding being put up
By an
by,
owner.
by
Right,
the
they
owner
were forced
to
to.
fix their
Yeah.
front. This is put up by the city.
Oh,
Yeah.
so
Well,
they
what
protect-
he needs to be aware. He
Well,
needs to be,
supposedly Adams was proposing that you had to repair, you know,
But
because these scaffoldings have been hanging around for 20
right,
years.
right. But what I'm saying is that he needs to be aware, being that he's not in our jurisdiction, he needs to be aware that there's a law that he has to do X, Y, and Z, you know.
The owner.
Yeah, the owner, yeah, Tony.
Yeah.
I know him as Tony Drayton,
Yeah.
you know.
There's the long arm alone.
And with that being said, also you had mentioned about 180, so the scaffolding you had mentioned. So they just, I looked at, today I looked at the permits, because when I went out,
Yeah, I
they
saw-
had already been gone, and so I looked at the permits, and I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do, but I can share the permits if anybody else
Yeah.
can understand the bureaucracy of it all. It's all Greek to me, so that we know what's going on, and I think it will also help us to determine who the owner or who a contact is.
Yeah.
Because again, I just have the name of the organization. And I just wrote a blank email, not a blank, but just a blanketed email to just anyone, and that might be why.
But we
no one
need
has
to,
written me back.
we need to contact them to let them know that we're here, and they need to be in touch with us.
Okay.
They need to be in touch with us.
Sorry, what were your three committees again?
So the committees were the meeting committee, the beautification committee, and the membership committee.
Okay.
And then there's a fourth, which is the I don't want to call it a party committee, but a social event committee,
Okay.
for lack of a better. Yeah.
Because it seems like, I don't know, as a suggestion, does it make sense, another committee, but a committee that focuses on these issues of home ownership, I don't know, is that a membership
Well-
committee, like, contacting
Right.
the
The
great,
owners and stuff like
the
that.
owners and the scaffolding, some negotiation with 180 negotiation with what's
Yeah.
being addressed.
Great idea. And what I would like to do, instead of having trying to call for a committee, I'd like to do it we did previously when we had the
Issue across the street.
yes, which is a task force.
A
So
task, there you go.
yeah, so come together and then
We can do that.
people can then we'll play to people's strengths, and then they can they'll determine like, oh, I'll write. I'm great at writing letters, so I can write this letter, and then someone else. So we'll do that. So that will be one of the tasks.
Yeah.
What's with the empty lot?
So that was the next thing on the list. So, I'm glad. So these are great segues. I haven't heard anything as of now, but this is the lot, which was 188. They had it when they applied for a permit with the Landmarks and Preservation Commission and Committee. The address was 188 Bainbridge / 344 Malcolm X. The address now is 188 Bainbridge. I have not heard, so Malcolm X is not going, but their permit was approved by the Landmarks and Preservation Commission, which is a New York City agency. The Landmarks and Preservation Committee of the Community Board 3, which is the community board that we belong part of, the Brooklyn Community Board 3, denied it, but the commission has a lot more sway and a lot more power than the committee of the commission, or the committee of the community board. So they have they now have to the approval to go ahead with the plan of how they now have the go ahead to build what was proposed or what the aesthetic of the building, what they proposed as the aesthetic of the building. Sorry, I'm just tongue twisted now. So that's what's going on that I know of. I've reached out to them as well previously, and they're rude and quite arrogant, and felt as they didn't need to talk to me or talk to us. And it's Z architecture, but yeah, it's. I'm hoping that eventually they'll come around and want to talk to us. I mean, the look of the building is already set in stone. It's already been approved, so there's nothing that we can do about that.
5 stories.
So yeah, I can't off the top of my head remember, but yeah, it's.
It's gonna look a little like 180.
Sent out the no, just like 180, but I sent out the sketch, the plan that they have. It's going to have underground or street level parking, but off-street street level parking, but not enough for all of the units that they have. So it's going to be about a 46-unit building, 5 stories, 46 units, with parking for 20 of the units. And so our next step, I don't know, I'm relying on those that have been around, that were around for 180, and what we did for there to guide me and to help out with this entire process. Because again, I've just been hitting a brick wall with the architecture. Yes.
That's why, to me, like, I don't know if you need a task force. I would have a committee, which is sort of buildings and dealing with the situation and also dealing with this situation. We have someone should be pestering Z architecture.
Well, yeah. So we'll just it's semantics. We'll just call it. I just like calling it a task force.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it.
Yeah. But as I said, someone, and not you, but someone.
Well, no, it can't be me all the time.
Be on them. Be a conduit. Be the voice for us.
Yes.
I mean, Perry had done that, I think, with 180.
And so there's going to be. I don't know what's going on with 207 Bainbridge, which is the building that's across the street at the end of our block. The red building. I know that it was up for sale. I have no idea what's going on.
That building is tied to what happens at the big lot.
Okay.
That is tied to what's happening at the big lot because.
The one that was a church?
No, the church is part of the big lot.
The church is part of the big
Yeah.
lot. Right. But across the street, that building is tied to it financially.
Okay.
So what happens is they have to do something with that building over there to be able to do something with the big lot,
Oh.
as I understand it. You know, one is tied to the other. So supposedly, for what I had heard back some months ago, that it was in contract.
Okay.
You know, so and I know that we did not. We were not satisfied with the design.
Yeah.
We were not satisfied with design. Well, you know, they put up something around the corner. Have you seen Louis? You haven't seen Malcolm X? That building they put up right there?
Oh,
Huh?
Malcolm X and Chauncey?
Yeah, right
17?
around the corner.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, right around
Yeah.
the corner. Yeah. And so they're looking like they're gonna do something else in the lot on the corner of Chauncey and Lewis as well. Because they have the lot there too, and I think that they're gonna do similar type housing on that corner.
Oh yeah, they've broken ground.
Yeah, they've broken ground.
Yeah. So it's,
5 houses.
5 houses there on the corner of Chauncey and Lewis,
Yes.
yeah.
so a
So,
lot.
I don't know if, I don't, see, before, that piece of property on that side, there's supposed to be a covenant on the kind of property that they put there on the corner. Being that it is a church property,
Okay.
so there's still a lot of things that have to be done with that. Has to go through the Attorney General's office. And I don't know if all of that's been cleared yet. Because other than that, that project will not be doing anything anytime soon. So I don't know what the status of it is, but, you know, I would think the committee might be community and social concerns or something like that you might want to call it. Community and
Task force.
social concerns, that's just a thought. Yeah.
So,
You just made me remember something as well. There are a plethora of meetings that are going on outside of our block association. There's the community board, the Brookings Community Board, 3 meetings. There's Build a Block meetings. There's the community meeting that the precinct has as well. In addition, there might be a few others. I can't go to
And
everyone.
also the Alliance.
The Alliance?
There's an alliance meeting where it brings in all the block associations together, and the community board 3, and also the precinct council meeting.
Okay. So I can go to some, but if I had volunteers to go to others, and it doesn't have to necessarily be the same volunteer to every meeting, but if we could just have coverage of many of the meetings, that would be great, because then we would know a lot better about what's going on. And so my assignment to myself is to get out the calendar to everybody. And for me, email is the best, but email out the calendar of the meetings that we would be interested in going to, and then having folks volunteer to represent the block association at those meetings. And representing us doesn't necessarily mean that you would have to present, but just being there and then reporting back to the block association what's going on, because there's a lot of stuff that's going on now. We have the construction at Chauncey and Lewis. We have that new building up by Key Foods that's open. We have on the other Bainbridge, at Bainbridge and Patchen, there was some construction there, and those, I believe, are open now. And
It's still surrounded by fencing,
By
but I
fencing.
saw them going in, and the kind was running, so they
So,
made.
yeah, and as just
The
side note,
building on, I think it's on Halsey, where they left just the front of the building.
yeah,
All the scaffolding is down.
yeah,
Everything's down, it's open, you can look in, you can see.
Yeah.
and you
I
can
think that
see-
first floor is the model apartment. Yeah, this is
you
the
can
one
see
that's on
the model
Halsey,
apartments on the first floor.
between Stuyvesant and Lewis.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, you
Stuyvesant
mean
and
where
Lewis.
the garage
The
was?
Yeah.
garage and
That's
yeah,
a pretty
that's
building.
done.
That's a great design.
yeah.
So, Mr.
That
Thompson,
is-
yeah, it
we
is.
should have that
I
It's a
walked by
better-
the other day, it's kind of an evening, all the lights were on, and they did a very
They
nice
did a
job.
very good job.
They did a much better job
They
than.
did duplexes, like little sort of townhouses, mini townhouses.
And as a side note, I fear that most of the housing that's being developed, that very little to none are probably going to be affordable housing. And so this is just the tender part of me. I just fear that it's, people are just going to be displaced. So many people that can't afford to have a, $3,000 rent, monthly rent. Where are they going to go? I just feel bad that they're going to be displaced.
The rent is too damn high.
It sure is. It sure is. So I'll put together a calendar of the meetings and a calendar